County Road and Bridge has no concerns. How much did you get, Marge?
None.
Okay. This is based on the existing dead-end road. How much did you get, Marge?
Nothing.
Okay, there's no public testimony based on.
Do the TV before it starts acting in the mic. Audio's not on the on the TV remote, just mute the speakers on the TV. That remote next to you? Yeah, just mute. Yeah.
Alright, now you're gonna have to turn the microphone back on.
Yeah, you guys go.
Sorry. There you go. Okay,
It's based on the existing dead-end road. There's no public testimony.
No public testimony in opposition, and County Road and Bridge has no concerns.
Okay.
All right. Number 3, the variance will or will not adversely affect adjacent property.
due to site location and topography and dead-end road. Sound right?
Staff report also noted it would not negatively impact others' views.
Would not negatively impact others' views, you said?
Yeah.
Neighbor views or restrict access. Or you based on that property.
Neighbors' views, okay.
Okay. Did you get all that, Marge?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, if the variance is not granted, the applicant will or will not suffer undue hardship caused by the physical characteristics of the site. Will, and this is based on the
Based on steep slope.
steep slope.
Existing drain field and retaining walls.
Retaining wall. Now, I'll suggest on that condition, we'll just put that we are asking for a minimum of 10 feet. And that will be confirmed on inspection. So if you can get 12, 15, whatever, try for that, right? Absolutely.
Okay. No less than 10 feet from the right of way and to be confirmed by the building inspector. Correct? All right, I think we're ready for a motion then, unless you guys want to add anything else. Okay. Ready?
We're good.
Yeah.
We reviewed the application, staff report, and all testimony presented tonight is part of the record, and based on the criteria for a variance and having found that those criteria for approval are satisfied, I move to approve Jeremy Mansko's variance request as described in the application and staff report with the following one condition. The setback shall be a minimum of 10 feet from the right of way, with the distance confirmed by the building inspector.
Okay.
Second that motion.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Edward Orridge,
Yes.
Crystal Matson, Chad Selenite,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Dimon.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, next one is, jump to agenda item number 6. This is also variance from section 337, bulk building improvement standards. Jose Nava requests a variance from 20 feet to 1 feet for a rear yard setback and a variance from 10 feet to 5 feet for a side yard setback on each side for accessory structure. He also requests a variance from 10 to 5 for a side yard setback for a single-family dwelling. The affected properties are currently addressed as 11302 North Rio Vista and 11300 North Rio Vista. And this will be a decision as well. Okay.
It's great to get old. My name's Ron Horner. I'm the owner of the mobile home park.
Do you need your full address as well?
Okay. It's Ronald Horner, 755 Monica Court, whichever guy I home.
Perfect. Thank you.
I want to congratulate you. I spent 12 years on planning and zoning. We never had this many people. Never. Anyway, it's a variance. I sold, it's a mobile home park, sits on 10 acres. I sold, 5 years ago, I sold off the back 9. When I sold it, because there's a house and basically 4 lots on the front center that you can see on the drawings. And what happened is, when I had it appraised by Kirkham, the commercial sailor, and he drew it all up. We get it to the title company, and the title company left off 80 by 80 of the back end of the front property. So I've talked to the guy that bought the park. He's willing, and he's already given us an affidavit. He's willing to quit claiming it back. We need your approval because of the setbacks. Because 2 of the properties are on his side, which all have storage units. And it's part of the storage units that we're gonna have to, get the variance on. And if we need any expertise, we got the surveyor here to answer all the technical questions. Thanks, guys.
I do have a question for you though. Just stay here for me.
Shoot.
So the little structure that we're talking about,
Is a storage unit.
the one that's labeled electrical service
Yeah, right.
building.
There's 2 electrical services on it. To feed the 2 existing trailers that are on his side of the property.
Okay.
And that's why your people, when we came in, that's what they suggest, we put this little offset in it. But because it cost Lynn probably $5,000-6,000 to change the electrical services.
Does that also power the community well?
No,
Or no?
no.
Okay.
The community well is 3-phase. And it sits over on the other side. Power line comes up the same side, but it changes to 3-phase and feeds the well.
Gotcha.
This is all single phase. I was an electrical contractor for 60 years. And I did 30 years with Gordy in Bannock County. In fact, the building on top of Chinks, I built.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I spent many a time paying taxes.
Okay, so we're talking the little electrical service structure, the one that's labeled shed structure,
Right.
In the house, right?
and then the building, the mobile home building on the west of that, or
Right.
kind of the southwest of that, that's at an angle.
Well, when I bought it 28 years ago, I had no place for a bathroom when I was working on it, because there's 52 trailers in there. So that trailer you see there is just nothing but for junk. I mean, so I put that in there, and so I had a bathroom. My wife's really narrow-minded when it comes to spots, so I put that in there.
Okay.
And that's what, and when we get done with it, that's what it, unless somebody wants to volunteer a whole bunch of junk, I can take care of that.
Okay, perfect. The only other question I had, and it's just for clarification, and this may be a question more for Jose, but in the application and in the staff report, it talks about the existing property line bisecting a structure, but I don't see that on the maps. So
I think, is that the job, to go around the structure instead of bisecting it?
I don't know, it says I thought it said existing.
It's a mistake on there.
Okay.
Come up and say your name and address, so we have that record. You know the procedure.
He's on the ticket boards, so.
Jose Nava, 555 Northeast. So the original boundary line kind of came down and didn't meet setbacks on that existing shop there. And it jogged over. It didn't go all the way through that electrical building, or electrical shed. Originally, when I was talking with Ron, we planned on adjusting that, and he was planning on removing that shed. But after talking with him and realizing it's gonna cost him so much money to remove that, then we decided we had to address that, to go around the exterior of that shed. The only problem is existing mobile homes there cause issues with setbacks and all that, so we have to ask for a variance in order to go with Bannock County. Move forward with that adjustment.
So we're really looking at structure on both sides of the line, right? Because you got shop and mobile home on the west side and mobile homes on the east side, plus the shed structure that all would need a variance setback, or a variance to setbacks.
Yeah, so if you look at that detail, I don't know if you have the map.
The one down the corner.
Page 1, right in the corner. That mobile home, also from that mobile home is 5.41 feet. So let's see, variance from that mobile home there. And then 5 foot from the electrical building to the south, and it's the north and the east would be 1 foot also.
So there's three. There's the 20 to 1, the 10 to 5, and the other 10 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I read the first 10 to 5, I didn't catch the second one, so that makes sense.
So anything on the east side would be the other property owner's responsibility to calculated the maintenance for, right?
Well, it's a boundary line adjustment, and so I think it's kind of a combined, that's the way I read the application, it's kind of a combined agreement with the variance and everything, because we're doing,
Because
he's doing a boundary line adjustment to fix it around those, in between those structures.
Because of what it is, it's all or nothing, because it's all existing.
Right. So, that was all the questions I had. You guys have any other questions?
No, I thought it was pretty straightforward, just trying to, some boundary adjustments, that's really, that's all I got.
Okay. Perfect.
What makes, another note, what makes this kind of difficult is what I was just talking to Ron here, is there's storage, half of that shed, it's kind of divided into 3 parts. So half of the shed is with electrical stuff on the west, and then on the half of the shed on the east, it's split into 2, and there's storage, basically storage units, storage for the adjoining mobile homes. So what I suggested was some sort of an access easement for them. I'm not sure how that would work, but
I don't know if that would be something we would determine anyway, it'd be something you'd have to work out with the neighbor.
Right. Okay, thank you. All right, staff.
Abby Hughes on planner. Jose covered the boundary line adjustment. Do you have any other questions regarding the staff report?
You guys have any questions for staff?
No questions.
I think it's the only solution that we could have created, we came up with this, for that.
Let's put all those distances.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to public testimony. Let's see, first one is Helen, sorry, I'm gonna butcher your last name.
Meisner.
Meisner.
Helen Meisner, 5965 Eden. I just learned about this tonight, so I just want clarifications. He's talking about basically the middle of the mobile home park, is that correct?
It's the house on the, right against Rio Vista.
Okay, so we're not talking about anything on the south side?
No.
No.
Okay, I just want to clarify, because there's 2 properties there.
This line will move to here. That's what's being affected.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry, I just learned about this tonight. So
Very good.
I jumped and ran and tried to figure it out. And I don't have any issues with wasting as long as it does not mess with the south side.
Nope.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we got one more. They do not wish to testify. Cody Jackson is neutral, but does not wish to testify. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay, thank you. All right. Back to the applicant. Do you have anything else?
No,
Okay.
just time.
Just time? All right.
Yeah, that's all.
You guys ready to go through findings then? Okay. Number 1, the applicant has shown there is not a reasonable alternative. And that's based on location of all the existing structures. It's kind of gonna be a repeat on all of these. Number 2, the variance is not in conflict with the public interest. Again, all structures are existing, and based on the applicant's testimony, the adjacent property owner is also in agreement. Am I going too fast?
Adjacent property.
Okay. Okay.
And then on number 3, the variance will not adversely affect the adjacent property. And I think it's just a copy of number 2. the last one, if the variance is not granted, the applicant will suffer undue hardship caused by the physical characteristics of the site. And that's based on the location of existing structures and utility infrastructure and the cost to remove them or relocate them.
Cost to remove. Or.
Okay. Anything else to add there?
No,
I don't see any for any conditions.
So I think we're ready for a motion. Okay.
Having reviewed the application, staff report, and all testimony presented tonight as part of the record and based on the criteria for a variance, and having found that those criteria for approval are satisfied, I move to approve Jose Nava's variance request as described in the application and staff report with no conditions.
Okay.
second?
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Edward Ulrich,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Chad Selenite,
Yes.
Molly Denner.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay, thanks, guys. All right. Now, gotta make sure I get this in the right order. Okay, we move on to the next one.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. The next one is a variance from section 337, building bulk and placement standards. Jody Barnes requests variance from 20 feet to 10 feet for a rear yard setback and a variance from 10 feet to 5 feet for a side yard setback for a shop. The affected property is currently addressed as 14868 Berkshire in Pocatello, and this would be a decision as well. Okay, applicant.
Brandon Barnes, homeowner, 14868 Berkshire Avenue. This is requesting a variance, 5 feet, 2 to 5 feet for the side yard and to 10 feet for the rear yard in order to build a garage. It's the place, looking down on the place over there, so
Just gonna put it right on the back of your driveway there.
yeah.
Which side would the lean-to be on?
Is on the back, the rear.
So then north?
Yes, and it is included within the area there.
So the dimensions that you gave us include the building too?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a shop or a garage?
It's, well, we're trying to make it aesthetic, look like the house, you know, type of thing. So I call it a garage, so I call it a shop.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
I know this is a discussion we've had before about some of these subdivisions, having half of them in the city of Chubbuck, setbacks, and half the subdivision not. Does this one fall into that same realm?
Yeah, I think this is phase 2 of the subdivision.
Yeah.
And phase 4 through 8 has that blanket variance.
That's right.
So 1 through 3, we have to deal with this individually.
Yeah. So I thought this was the
Yeah.
same scenario.
Yeah.
That's our understanding as well.
Okay. No other questions for you right now, I guess. So, thank you. All right, staff.
Annie Hughes, zoning planner. Staff finds that the rear portion of the property is the practical location for the proposed shop.
And I don't have anybody signed up for this one either, so. Is there anything else you guys want to add? No? Okay. All right. Anything else from council? No. All right. Let's work through our findings then. Number one, the applicant has shown there is not a reasonable alternative. But we got the location of the existing home and other site improvements, and this meets the,
The development pattern of the.
yeah, consistent with the other phases of the development.
For the horse race.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And consistent with city and other standards.
Consistent. The city of Chubbuck standard.
Okay,
Yeah, you could put 4 through 8 minutes. And you could put the standard in, just put, it's a run-on sentence, and 4 through 8. Tristan will fix it.
Somebody's walking over tonight. Got tire slash, jeez.
All right.
She watches out for us.
Number two, the variance is not in conflict with the public interest.
Almost a copy and paste.
And then I think it's basically the same thing.
okay,
Number three, the variance will not adversely affect adjacent property. Kind of the same thing, I think. And number four, if the variance is not granted, the applicant will suffer undue hardship caused by the physical characteristics of the site.
And not be able to build. Will, and they would not be able to build their garage on the site. Or would have to significantly change. Change. Yes, I. All right. I'll leave it at that.
okay.
Okay.
I can do the motion.
All right.
No condition, correct?
I don't think any conditions on this one.
We haven't done any condition on the last ones, right? Just for consistency, all right. Having reviewed the application, staff report, and all the testimony presented tonight as part of the record and based on the criteria for a variance, and having found that those criteria for approval are satisfied, I move to approve Jody Barnes' variance request as described in the application and staff report.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Edward Orich,
Yes.
Crystal Matson,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Dimick,
Yes.
Chad Selenite.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. You guys are good. Thank you. All right. Is that number 5 here? You got it? Okay. All right, move on to that one. Subdivision concept plan, North 40 Estates, Division 1, pursuant to section 302 of the Bannock County subdivision ordinance. TG, I can't even say that last name, so I'm going to try. Proposes, we'll say, how about that? Proposes to subdivide approximately 39.44 acres of land into 9 buildable lots. The 8 buildable lots will range from 2 different numbers there. Range from 1.0 to 1.26 acres in size. The remainder open space lot will be approximately 30.66 acres. Subject property is located off North Rio Vista Road, which is a county maintained road. The development proposes to connect to City of Chubbuck sewer and proposes individual wells. Okay.
So,
Name and address, please.
okay, we're representing with Sunrise Engineering at 600 East Oak Street, Hotel Idaho 2201. Representing the applicant. And my name is Merrill Coyle. So that was a good brief overview. So we're taking this acreage, and it's going to be a phased development for this. So there's our concept, is what we've got right now. So the first 8 lots in here will be 1 acre lots. The lots that are abutting, there's 2 lots that are abut and adjacent to Rio Vista. They no access to Rio Vista from those lots. We want everything off the road, try to keep those main roads free flowing as much as possible. As stated, individual wells, we have talked with the Idaho Department of Water Resources, and as long as we keep them over an acre, they are permittable for individual wells. However, because of the need to continue to protect our resource, the water and our aquifer, and the City of Chubbuck, and we agree, and applicant agrees to hook onto the city system. So that is what's being proposed. So
The city water system, correct?
the city sewer system.
Sewer system, okay.
The city sewer system. The water system
Would be the
will be
wells.
individual wells.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So that's a good clarification there. So that's what we're doing. The street will be dedicated to the public. We plan on trying to have a public street in there. We work with the City of Chubbuck. Also, it will be built to the county standards, as you've seen below. We do have an email from Chubbuck that indicates their concept and everything, and as well as a resolution to be able to just hook onto the sewer only through their resolution. So there will be some swells on the side, just their standard, even what Chubbuck does and that, but there won't be a ribbon curve or any curvy gutter on there. So that is, let's see, notes here. There will be a dedication of the properties that the applicant does control for the county, dealing with Kyle Burmeister, the Public Works Director, to dedicate additional property. So there's at least 40 feet of right-of-way on the area that we control from the center line over, with 15-foot utility easement across there too, to try to accommodate for the future growth and what the County Public Works Director would like. And we're okay, as I noticed in the last, you brought up county and city of Chubbuck setbacks. The more restrictive setback, whether it be county or city, will apply for this development also. There will be a temporary turnaround at the end that we're proposing will be covered in its easement, and it will be on the remaining 30-acre plus lot, which will continually kind of leapfrog as the phasing comes in, and there'll be a replat of that lot and going more as it builds out. This is the first phase of the concept. So that's basically the background out there and what we were requesting with this concept plan, and able to answer any questions if you have.
So I read that the remainder in the agenda, the remainder open space lot, but it's not necessarily an open space lot. It's just the remainder, but it will be a lot in this phase.
We would have liked to not be, but I think the county through your guys, it's not necessary.
Elise Foster, subdivision planner, for clarification. It was noticed as 9 lots after going through review with legal based on the cul-de-sac being an easement. It was determined that the remainder lot did not have to be part of the plat, which is what the applicant preferred.
Yes.
And so this will be an 8-lot subdivision. The remainder lot will not be part of this platted subdivision, but could be platted in the future if they choose to extend it.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification, because that's what we desire to begin with, so.
That makes sense. So, okay. I don't have any questions for that. Does anybody else?
I don't have one for the applicant, maybe I
I do, I just wondered if there's been a conversation with the city of Chubbuck on the water services. Is it applicable? Can it be done? Just reading the letter from the DEQ, although you do the 1 acre lots, you can have an individual well, so they're just highly recommending either finding a way to hook to the city of Chubbuck or a community well. Is any other options on the water been discussed or looked at?
We have discussed those, but the preference is to have the individual wells.
Is it preference or just the other options aren't feasible per se?
Cost-wise, bringing the water for Chubbuck and that is pretty expensive at that time, and wait till development brings it closer and that. We will, there is a possible for future, was that built out and that these homes could hook on in the future if needs be. And then we did not want the community well to have the certified operators and so forth to go with that, and to burden the development and build out with that certified operators and that ongoing there. With the, so with the individual wells, it's just as any county subdivision.
Okay, then, but
Just for clarification, how far is City of Chubbuck water from this property? I have an idea, but
Okay, well, tell me your idea, because I don't have that idea in my head right now, sorry.
I think it's about a mile.
It's a ways away, I know that, so I don't know the exact.
Sewer is only about a quarter mile,
Yeah.
but water is all the way, almost a mile south, if not more.
That's correct. It's a ways away, that's
It's
all I
on,
remember.
I think it's on Siphon Road, on the north side of Westfield Estates.
By their new well, down that way.
Well, kind of the corner of Rio Vista, well, it's west of that, or east of that, sorry, right there. And then, so to go down to Rio Vista and then north up to that,
Right.
it's about a mile. So
That's about right.
it is a significant length and cost to extend that far.
Development would probably be prohibitive if the water line was extended that far.
So, okay. Does that answer your?
It does. And concerns about the EDB, ethylene dibromide. I think you saw.
There's an agricultural
There's
field
law
that's
buyers that have to be disclosed. That's a possibility with the individual well.
Right. And it will be tested and everything, because they really want to check.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think one of the conditions was to add it
Yeah.
on the plats.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
We have a note on the concept plan right now, so it'll carry through to overlap.
yeah, okay.
That's all.
I have a quick question about the plat. Why does it list mixed use for future designation?
Probably because the back half is probably going to stay in agriculture until they decide to do something with it. I'm just assuming, is that right?
I'm assuming it was just selecting a box and they selected mixed use, not knowing. It would have to conform with residential suburban uses
So we need
based
to
on
have that as a
ordinance.
condition if we approve that, if that gets changed.
Yeah, the
Well,
future
that's-
land use map is not in you. That's an error on our part.
Okay.
But I don't think we need to add a condition on that, because that doesn't carry over to any future plats.
Well, and this is a preliminary anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer all of your questions? You guys have any
I have a
questions?
question for staff.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Nope. Okay, thank you. All right, staff.
Elise Foster, subdivision planner. This is zoned residential suburban and is the last parcel located within the area of impact for city of Chubbuck. So they are bringing services out quite some ways in order to connect to the city sewer. They are proposing, there is one structure located on the property. When meeting with the applicant, they are still trying to determine whether they're going to remove that structure or adjust to meet setback requirements. So council may want to consider that when they're placing conditions, and I believe it is in one of the recommended conditions already. There is also a existing approach to the north of the proposed road that we have placed as condition number 5, that approach only within this plat be removed during the construction of the development.
Can you point to which one that would be?
Yes. So it almost looks like a shared approach here, but this lot has access here, part of it's on their lot, so they would just remove the section within their parcel. And then this is where the road will be proposed.
All right, can I ask
So-
one question? Okay.
Sorry, I have another question for the applicant, actually. I forgot about this. So there's a little sliver north of that existing house, but that's not in the plat?
You need me there.
If you could come up here, that'd be great.
I'll just-
I'm just curious what's going on with that.
That is, that's up for some discussion with the applicant and what we're doing with the property owner and that. There's discussion, of course, it's not gonna be a buildable lot. It's gonna be too small and everything there, so we're looking at possibly doing some swapping, if we could, to be able to trade with the adjacent property owner to help with some of the right of way. And it's been talked about, is there a possibility to try to incorporate that lot into the plat and to help along that county and to finish that frontage? So there's been a few balls in the air, but we are discussing that and how to do that, how to incorporate it into the plat or not into the plat. But right now, it's probably gonna be a property line type adjustment or what we can do there to do those trades and to move forward with it. But yes, it is it's gonna be a
It's
small.
kind of a leftover, but your client's still working on it.
We're working on trying to figure out, we haven't figured out the best alternative for that yet.
Okay, sorry.
All right, for staff, we talked about the setbacks, and the comment was that we were gonna do the most stringent of the two. With, like the last variance that we just did, wouldn't it make sense, instead of making it more stringent, the two, because we know the county's rules are more stringent than the city of Chubbuck's, on those setbacks, can we make this comply with the city of Chubbuck's rules? Because it is still in the area of impact, and eventually will become the city of Chubbuck. So on the setbacks, I would prefer that instead of us having 9 more garages come in over the next 2 years. Does that make sense for variances?
That does make sense. It would still have to go through a variance process to do that. The subdivision process wouldn't allow that. But consider how long it's taken to annex any of the current subdivision of Westfield and how far out this one is opposed to that and how long the county will be maintaining that subdivision.
Hal Jensen, Planning Director, 2 comments. First is that we do not have and we will not enter into a development agreement for this subdivision with the city of Chubbuck.
Okay.
And the second to remember is that what we just discussed before, those are half-acre lots. These are twice that size. My recommendation is to hold to standard setback, 20-foot rear yard, 10-foot side yard, etc.
Okay,
If someone comes in for a variance, they're really going to have, on these particular size lots, they're really going to have to justify their costs.
All right.
If that development agreement was not in place for Westfield Estates, we would be talking a different story every time someone comes in.
Yeah.
So.
Understand. Okay.
I've got 2 questions for staff. Just with some of the conditions. Number 1, written comment from the city of Chubbuck regarding the proposed road design. Why the road design and not just the sewer? Since it's gonna be a county, we're gonna be way out there.
What we've seen in the past and what Road and Bridges policy says is when you're connecting to services, you can build it to city standards as long as Road and Bridge approves it. Where we have not seen that agreement with City of Chubbuck at this time, we don't know what City of Chubbuck is going to request as far as the road design, and just having them review it to ensure they're okay with it being built to county standards opposed to city standards with the connection of the sewer.
Okay. And then the next one is number 6. It says a temporary right-of-way and utility easement shall be granted to Bannock County prior to recording the plat. What's that one for?
So there is the cul-de-sac that's outside of the platted subdivision, and because it's not in the plat, they cannot dedicate that easement to us without having that initial agreement saying this is a county maintained cul-de-sac when they dedicate the road.
Okay, so that's specific to the cul-de-sac.
Correct.
Okay. That clarifies my misunderstanding there, so, okay. Don't think I had any other questions. You guys have any questions for staff? No. That's it. Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay. Public testimony. We've got 1 signed up, neutral, Wes Johnson.
At this time, I decline. Now that I've seen what they're proposing, my questions will be in stage 2 and 3.
Okay.
We actually have a ditch right away, a prescriptive right away, to be able to maintain our irrigation ditch. It will be just north of that green line off of Neptune. You can see the kind of 2-track that follows right down the property line, and then on the southern part, and then it goes out the eastern part to the main lateral ditch. So
Gotcha.
we just need to make sure that we still have a prescriptive right away in there to be able to maintain that ditch.
Okay.
For the record, we need.
Wes Johnson.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think is that okay that it's on here, or does he still need to state it?
I would have them stated since I don't know.
It's 14830 West Saturn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council?
I didn't sign up, but can I make a comment?
On this one,
Uh,
if you'll come up here, state your name and address, and then I'll have you put your name on this paper for me.
While he's doing that, council, an item that we're going to need to speak about at some point, and Mr. Quayle, there is a piece out here on the end, this triangle, that for all intents and purposes becomes landlocked, and the only access to that piece is along the canal. And we'll need to have some conversations to see what potentially is going to happen with that piece as each of these phases move forward, just as an FYI. Thank you. It's an item that has, the property owner has been into our office in the past, concerned about that. And I just wanted to make you aware of that as we move forward in the future.
Okay. Name and address first, please.
Sean Watson, 1270 North Real Vista.
Perfect. Thank you.
The house right there on the north is mine. Just with that little strip of property that runs next to it.
Okay.
That's my driveway. Has been for like 22 years.
Okay.
Just, if that makes any difference to you.
It might have been before you walked in. We did talk to the applicant about that. And,
Right.
And they were still working through that.
Yeah,
So
they're working with me to.
yeah, currently it's not included in the subdivision
Yeah, okay.
plat. So
That's what I'm wondering.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Don't want to miss anybody. Okay. Perfect. Marilyn, you rebuttal on anything or anything to clarify?
No.
Okay. All right. Discussion?
No, I like that it's in the city of impact, at least they're getting sewer, I think that's important for the growth, so. It'd be great for water, but I understand it's not feasible, so, at least they're getting sewer.
And
I'm sure the sewer cost isn't very cheap either.
Yeah, for sure.
I do appreciate all the comments from the agencies. There's a lot of comments on this, which is great, because we don't always see those.
Right.
So, but, yeah, I think it looks good.
Okay. Ready to work through findings then? All right. Got 6 to go through plus conditions. Okay, number 1, the proposed concept plan is in conformance with the Bannock County Comprehensive Plan, is in conformance with applicable provisions of this ordinance and other county ordinances and Idaho code. This is, I'd say based on the staff report and testimony from Matt, which is great. Yep. Okay. Number 2, the proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision ordinance. Design deviation was not requested and was not granted.
So that is applicable to the county, because we're waiting on comment from the city of Chubbuck on the roads.
Which is addressed in the conditions.
Gotcha. So, but is it the proposed roads and bridges that they are or are not designed?
Well, the proposal we have right now is the drawing, which it does comply.
Yeah, it does, to the county standards,
The
right?
county standards. The county standards.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers that.
So I think that's based on
The drawing.
the road details.
Submitted application.
Yeah, on submitted application.
On the submitted application.
This one here.
Okay. Number 3, the proposed partition of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads.
Can we copy the last one? Based on the road detail and submitted with the application. Wait, the road detail and plat.
And the proposed, well, because of the temporary turnaround at the end, they can extend that.
Okay.
So I think, based on the submitted concept plan, the proposed road can be extended in the future.
Extended in the future.
Yep. Yep. Number 4, the proposed partitioning will or will not conflict with legally established easements or access within or adjacent to the proposed land partition. I believe that was addressed in one of the conditions as well, is that correct? Making sure that they show all easements.
Will not conflict, sorry, will not.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
13,
remember.
14.
Yeah, 13, 14.
13, 14, yeah.
How do we want to state that one?
I think,
this will be addressed in the conditions.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Can we put that on there? Okay.
Be addressed in conditions
Which condition is 13?
to proceed to
13 and 14. And then I do have a question for you, Wes. Your ditch, where does it stop going? Does it stop at Neptune? Or does it keep going west of Neptune?
It actually stops at Neptune.
Right at Neptune? Okay.
There's a head.
So this phase that they're proposing doesn't affect your ditch at all?
It's not going to affect the ditch at all.
Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't need to address irrigation
Yes.
on this one. So, okay.
Yeah.
Number 5, the blocks of lots are located and laid out properly to properly relate to adjoining or nearby lot or parcel lines, utilities, streets, or other existing or planned facilities. And say they are based on the submitted concept plan. Number 6, the proposed property is physically suitable for the type and proposed density of development and does conform to existing zone standards.
Can we copy the last one on that?
Yeah, based on the submitted concept plan. Okay. And then
A lot of conditions.
there are 15 conditions.
Can we, I'll do the motion, and then can we do the conditions in the motion?
Yeah, I think so.
Do we need to add any conditions that anybody sees, or do we have, do these look to me like they cover everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I was concerned about was irrigation, and he's addressed that, so I don't think we need to deal with any irrigation easements specific to the
Phase one.
other. Well, this ditch is not affected, the ditch in question is not affected by phase 1, but I believe, my understanding, reading between the lines a little bit here, is that the ditch doesn't service this property either. It services the development to the south, and so.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, are we ready for a motion?
I think so.
Okay. Having reviewed the application, staff report, and all testimony presented tonight as part of the record and based on the criteria for a subdivision concept plan, and having found that those criteria for approval are satisfied, I move to approve the concept plan for North 40th Estates Division 1 as described in the application and staff report with the following conditions. Number 1, with the preliminary plat application, provide written comments from the city of Chubbuck regarding the proposed road design. If comments are not received, provide documentation of at least 2 attempts to obtain comments. Number 2, show the location of central mailboxes and school bus stop on the preliminary plat and final plat. Number 3, all subsequent plats shall state this subdivision is in the area of concern for ethylene, dibromide, groundwater contamination. Number 4, obtain written approval from Bannock County Road and Bridge for the location and placement of any proposed city sewer improvements within the Rio Vista Road right of way. Number 5, remove the existing second approach within this development to Rio Vista Road as part of the subdivision improvement construction. Number 6, a temporary right-of-way and utility easement shall be granted to Bannock County prior to recording of final plat. The instrument number shall be placed on the plat. Number 7, All subsequent plats shall state temporary easement for vehicle turnaround and maintenance of public utilities. Said easement will terminate when the next subdivision connecting to the right-of-way is recorded. Instrument number blank, I don't have an instrument number, right? Right. When it's recorded, it will. Number 8, within the preliminary plat application, provide written confirmation from the city of Chubbuck that the proposed connection is acceptable and all conditions required. Number 9, revise the plat to show all existing and proposed easements, including utility, drainage, irrigations, slope, snow removal, and temporary turnaround easements, and confirm that no recorded easement or access right is impaired. Number 10, within the preliminary plat application, provide a stormwater report or drainage plan demonstrating that roadside swells and retention areas are sized, located, and protected by easement or plat note as needed. Number 11, correct note 14 so the road name is used consistently. The current sheet refers to both Bentel Place and Bentel Road. Number 12, maintain the plat note restricting Lot 1, Block 1, and Lot 1, Block 2 from direct access to Rio Vista Road. Number 13, dedicate and depict 40 feet of right-of-way from the center line of Rio Vista Road and a 15-foot public utility easement outside the Rio Vista Road right-of-way. Number 14, provide a 15-foot public utility easement outside the right-of-way along all sides of Bentel Place. Number 15, existing structures shall either meet applicable setback requirements or be removed before the final plat is recorded. The preliminary plat shall depict setback verification for any structures to remain, or the preliminary plat applications shall state that the structures will be removed.
Okay.
You need a second?
You need a second.
I second that motion.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Edward Orange,
Yes.
Crystal Matson,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Dimmitt,
Yes.
Chad Zellman.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll be back at about 20 to 7.
Good, how are you? Do I remember you? Oh, there you go. I should recognize you. Can you tell me who's next up on the docket? And then, the last one will be Peck property. The Peck property will be the last.
Which one are we at now?
And then I saw another you could always hold that.
If it's ever needed.
That's all you can do.
You don't try to make it. And hoping that I can just sit home and start doing it. So land use.
That's the way, yeah. That's the Colorado Department of Ranching, so right around Aspen Vale, the area, all that. When I retired, pardon me? Oh, really? Oh, really? That's my neighborhood, yeah. It's crazy. My grandson was right in my ditch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. You know, I had
I don't know. I got
this doesn't compare with everything,
so I'll reach out to you sometime.
I don't know. I lived there all my life. I lived there. But Aspen and Vale, I just think, you know, all the. Movie stars.
Not here. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. So we started with the guys that work there.
Hang with Sierra?
One of my friends.
He didn't know it. No, he was just.
That's it. No, this is other. It's finished. You know, it was so fun to work
Yeah, my uncles and stuff owns the backside of the Elm Mountain. One of them's a skier now. Yeah, you know, it's just progress. There's not many farming mansions that can make it, but yeah, it is. I know. Yeah, it's just progress, yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. And they're okay. Take care of it.
Good.
Yeah, they're right on.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're her best friend.
Yeah, we were moving Katie. I went to pick it up and throw it, and I got it here in my back. We're done. Then brought the bill. Everybody keeps telling me that.
Man says, you know, you help eat with the cows, or you help cows, about shooting, why are you eating with the cows? I mean, there's no competition. There's a lot of farmers that they're right in that area. They're turning their places into easements. Because they don't get. It's built up all around. Countries, yeah, conservation, they get hands on it. It's all built up, condominiums, everything else. 15, 20 million.
I remember somebody.
They're just trying to end the conversation. We worked our own life, developed this land. I would rather have. We can't play with that. I mean, that's what they do. And their families, I mean, if they start out in.
Well, I don't have that kind of years left, so.
Years old. You can't play with that. It's just progress. It's hard work. It's great progress. And it's a still progress. It's just, we grew up in the desert. What can you say?
There's the discount.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just great. Yeah, you gotta take care of it. There's a work at anywhere. Yep. Well, good luck. See how things go.
You should have heard. What am I doing here today? Yeah. This morning, she's like, right there. We're in there.
They're gonna take me down one too. I think everybody's back. I wrote it down.
All right. Okay, rolling again. Okay, we're gonna get started. We're on agenda item number 8, subdivision concept plan for Still Lava pursuant to section 302 of the Bannock County subdivision ordinance. Justin Nielsen proposes to subdivide approximately 1.59 acres of land into 17 buildable lots. Buildable lots would range from, oh, that's not a lot, there's no 0.034 to 0.984 acres in size. Subject property is parcel RRLL 2001400, located off the Newt Road and Iro Lane, both county maintained roads. Development proposes to connect to City of Walla water and sewer. All right. You want my timer still? Okay.
Hi, Brett Jensen, representing Justin Nielsen. His address is Box 6, 38 Roy, Utah, 84067.
What's your address?
420 North, 830 Preston, Idaho.
Okay, thank you.
We have a development that has been approved since the beginning for 4 buildings, 4 units each for townhomes, and we are getting going on those. We have, I believe, most of the stuff we need. We have the new plat that addresses a whole bunch of stuff, and there's 3 copies there, if you want to separate that.
They're all the same?
So it's been approved in the development, for a long time. We're just getting going.
Okay. You said this is different than what's in the packet?
It's a little bit different. It's the improvement showing all of the easements and sewer easements and all the lot lines and everything else that are absolutely corrected. The stuff that we've got that are coming up in the staff report.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a lot.
You've addressed
It's a lot more detailed, yeah.
Addressed some of the comments from staff report
Yep.
on this one. Okay. Questions?
My question is, we didn't have a report or anything from the city of Lava, so is that in the?
I'm waiting for Justin from the city of Lava to get back to me on the will serve. And there's already stubbed sewer and water and everything else to the property. We just need to get the completed will serve. It was already part of the subdivision, everything else. We don't anticipate any challenges. Need to make sure.
I'm just curious of what they say versus, because this is one lot where I think originally it was designed for one house, right?
No, it's always from the inception. It's always
Very
been
beginning?
multi-family, four buildings, 4 units.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay. I think it's one of the recommendations from staff was with written confirmation from the city of Lava.
Yeah, to the will serve.
Yeah, so that's a concern that I have.
Yeah.
There, so.
Yeah.
This-
I hope to have that. I reached out to them today as well. And
Yeah,
I know they're busy.
yeah, you know. That's all, really, that was maybe another question come up along the way, but that was all I had.
Okay. My questions would be, let's get the staff report. Do you have any questions for that?
The only question I have is, and some of it is just for clarification for everybody, is if I understand the application correctly, so 16 individual units.
Correct.
And then everything else is lot 17, which is common area, essentially.
Common area and all of that is easement as well.
Right.
Make sure, utilities and everything else have the necessary place they need to go.
So on the plan, it says open space, common area, but it's not necessarily open space like the county would consider
No,
open space.
I think that was
It's just common
That's
area.
why they call it lot 17.
I think one of the recommendations to remove that open space, the wording. I thought
Well,
was-
there was a comment in there about, because if it's traditional open space with the county, you can only develop so much percentage of that. And so I just wanted to make sure for everybody's clarification, it wasn't necessarily.
Completely undevelopable.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily open space as in the county definition of open space, but it's just common area, like community area kind of thing. Okay. Perfect. What else? I think that was my only question.
Still one parcel?
Say that again.
Would this still just be one parcel or?
One parcel.
Currently, it's one lot.
One lot,
But
yeah,
individual 1 through 16 would be, correct me if I'm wrong, but would be, you could sell lot
Correct,
1 as its own unit or lot.
Similarly to what we've done here on South Fifth with some of these 0 lot line
Yeah.
properties.
Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions for that, Tim? Okay. You're good right now. Staff?
Police Foster subdivision planner. This original lot was put together as part of the planned unit development. In that subdivision, it was proposed that this lot would have no more than 16 multifamily units on it. They are just looking to subdivide those units up into individual lots so that they can sell it, opposed to one large complex owned by one person and put townhouses on each one. There are a couple items within the staff report that council should review. The approach was a concern to Road and Bridge, and they did want me to bring that up since they couldn't be here today. Just making sure those approach distances meet the requirements from the Road and Bridge policy from the corner of Newt and Irel. It's not clear on the site plan that we have of what those distances are.
And that one, I think, has been
That one's
addressed.
Perfect, okay.
But we'll make,
I believe it's 30 feet is the requirement.
and that measurement's on there. Yeah, good call. The print could be smaller, but I don't know how. I tried to get them printed bigger, but I didn't like chance.
I don't see that on here. I had that same concern with, especially the one going to the north.
If you look at it, right there, it shows 15 and 15 for the 30 feet.
Well, I think the distance from the intersection over 30 feet is what Road and Bridge wants.
That is
Not
what
the
it is.
width of that, but that from this corner over 30 feet would be your approach over here. That's the way I understand.
That is-
What they would
Okay,
require.
I didn't understand that way, so we'll address that.
And that is condition number 5 if council would like to place that one.
And okay, I was concerned with that second connection so close to that intersection. But my other question is it needed to have the two?
It is not required to have the ingress and egress, however, this is how they are proposing to design it.
The reason why is we, you know.
If you'll come up here, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The reason why is, I've got, not that it matters to you guys, I've got, a photo, rendition of what is going to be built. And it's a really beautiful subdivision and nice neighborhood. We want to keep with that. We don't want to have congestion, in one spot or another that makes it hard. We want to deliver the best product possible. I mean, it would be easy, like you're saying, to close some of it up and widen maybe a road a little bit. But I think it makes sense, just to have people coming in and out, have a little bit more room there. So that's why we did it that way.
So, just real quick, it doesn't, I guess it really matter, just for information for me. So your intent, are you just selling individual units, or are they long-term rentals, is what your plan is as a developer?
It's twofold. We want, we'd probably prefer to keep them and, rent them, not long-term, short-term. We
It's
don't
like
do
Airbnb,
long-term,
stuff like that.
Stuff like that, and the community needs it, and we like the idea. But there's a lot of people that recreate up there that want something as part of another strategy. We want to have the ability to have them taxed individually and sell them. They're really nice units. They'll look good within, I think, the subdivision that's really nice as a whole. So that's the plan.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for staff, just to clarify. Is the proposed density acceptable because it would be connected to city utilities?
That is correct. City water and sewer is stubbed to this original lot. The developer would just need to bring it into the 1 through 16 that they're creating.
Thank you.
Can you keep that for the record, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just because we're referencing factors.
Okay. Any other questions for staff?
How long ago was this one set aside for this purpose?
When the subdivision concept was originally platted,
Okay.
way back, whenever Lava Low was originally put
Okay.
together, phase 1, phase 2. Phase 2 had this particular lot.
With the densities.
Set aside. Yes.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I didn't go back far enough relative to the planned unit development conversations when it started, but it was one of the negotiating points about putting this subdivision together with the density that it did, knowing that Lava at some point is going to move towards annexation.
This is the first one we've seen like this in Black. We've done quite a few of them here.
Yes.
That they look, I mean, everything I've seen so far looks nice, and so that's why I'm asking.
There were no restrictions in
Probably
the,
about 10 years ago.
It probably started 10 years ago. Phase 1 started and went through several application processes before they finished out both phases.
there were no restrictions placed upon how this would develop other than 16 total units.
Just the quantity.
And so the reason that you have before you a subdivision is, by definition in the building code, these would be defined as a townhouse.
Sure.
Townhouses have to be on individual lots.
So like these other ones we've done just right here, it's just a 0 lot line.
That is correct.
Okay.
If we were not subdividing these and we just had 4 buildings, we would basically have 4 4-unit apartment buildings.
Yep.
Okay? As it stands now, it falls under the International Residential Code. If they were apartment buildings, they would fall under the International Building Code and would require fire sprinkling. So there's a number of strategies that the developer has taken, proposing it as townhouses. It's much more multifaceted than just simply putting an apartment building on the ground.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else from you guys? Okay, we'll move into, make sure I get the right one here. Public comment, we got 3 signed up. Let's see, 2 of the 3 want to testify. John Pullman is against but does not wish to testify, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Mark Stenberg.
You need time or you got somebody else to do it? You got it?
Yeah, appreciate the time, council, staff, talk about this action item tonight.
Name and address first, please.
I'll start with that. Yeah. Please start the clock. My name is Mark Stenberg. I live with my wife Beth at 9577 Iowa Lane, Little Hot Springs, 83246. This proposed subdivision will insert a 16-lot, single-family subdivision on 1.5 acres within an existing subdivision of 20 lots. I'm not opposed to multifamily housing, 16 units on lot 12. This was a condition when we purchased our lot. I am opposed to the conversion of this multifamily lot to 16 high-density, single-family homes. Lava Low subdivision phase 2 plat 2021 has a note 5 on it. I've got it here, I'll leave it for the record here. The plat note 5 says lot 12, lot 2 is designated as a multifamily housing lot. Not single-family homes, not to be subdivided as single-family homes. It's multifamily, and we all know what that means. That means more than one dwelling unit in a structure on a lot. This application seeks to change the multifamily platted designation of Lot 12 to a subdivision of single-family lots. I would infer, back in the day, that this lot was designated as multifamily to support mid-priced housing in the Lava area. Probably no debate on that. What we're seeing now is a strategy to maximize monetization of this lot with single-family, nice appointed townhouses versus some mid-price multifamily housing that was probably the intent at the time. The proposed conversion from multifamily to single-family cannot be accomplished under the restrictions in the First Amendment to amended and restated Declaration of Covenants of Splash Hollow recorded July 1, 2021. And I apologize, I thought we could still see time, so I'm going to race through this.
1 minute.
1 minute down. Thank you.
1 minute left.
Oh my goodness. Okay. There are setbacks within the covenants of Splash Hollow that apply to this lot that this proposal does not conform to. Bannock County, they are doing their thing with the letter, Part D, regards to multifamily housing, submitting their new plan. 16 lots, yeah, 16 units, we don't disagree with that. Let's see, so I'm kind of racing here. The lot is not to be developed for multifamily, but a subdivision of the parcel compatible to the rest of the development should be proposed. That's my opinion. We have single-family homes on lots with setbacks. If they want to do single-family homes on that lot, set lots up with setbacks. Or do the 3 fourplexes on individual lots, sell 3 fourplexes with the right setbacks that conform with the covenants. Okay? Alternatives, there's really 3. Maintain compliance with the plat for 1 multifamily lot with 16 units. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Where did you get to substation?
Yeah. Absolutely. Bed, Stenberg. So let's do this. We did setbacks.
Mark it for me. That's Stenberg, 9577 Irell Lane, Lava Hot Springs. Well, I'm not certain it's our place to give them alternatives, but maintain compliance with the plat with 1 multifamily lot with 16 units. As an alternative, some of the configurations of multifamily structures and lots, like the fourplexes on 4 lots, could be built in compliance. In a single-family housing on the lots should provide development proposal in the compliance with Splash Hollow's restricted covenants. Well, that didn't really eliminate much, did it? That contains original multifamily housing goals, consolidates ownership, and the neat definition of multifamily development. If single-family housing on individual lots is the developer's primary development driver, then the developer should provide a development proposal in compliance with Splash Hollow's restricted covenants. Sorry, guys.
No, you did.
And did you turn that in, Mark?
Yeah, maybe I copied that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. And then John will talk. Okay. Back to the applicant for rebuttal.
I really don't have anything. We want to be extremely respectful to everybody that's in that subdivision. It's really good. And I do think, though, that the structure that we're building complies with the intent. What we don't want to see, that I don't think anybody does here, we don't want to provide a product that weakens the value of the associating, neighbors' lots, land, and everything else. To say that we should build something that is for long-term rentals and especially doesn't, I heard the word less expensive, and I don't love that. I guess, here's the deal, I think that these have garages, they have a place to keep things nice and neat, which is a goal of ours, you know, for everyone there. And we want to make sure that, you know, there's not cars and trailers and, you know, a whole bunch of tip over stuff, you know, within a place. That's not our goal. Our goal is to try to do the best we can, not only for that lot, but for the neighborhoods in general. So we're happy to consider, you know, whatever we need to do to make things, you know, good and appropriate within what we believe was the deal, 16 units. That hasn't changed. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, for staff to clarify, if I'm wrong, then just correct me, but with an HOA or CCNRs, us as a county, that's our job to enforce those, as long as they, whatever it is meeting county requirements, that's where we are basically beholden to. Just so some of the testimony, so you understand that we don't enforce or do anything with the CCNRs. I think I'm right about that. So.
That is correct, and through the replat process,
Yep.
any notes that were in the previous plat would no longer pertain to this particular lot. So if there were notes that you want to carry over to the new plat, you would need to indicate that in conditions.
You bet. Thank you.
My question, I heard the term restrictive covenant used. Is that applicable to this case, or would approving this be?
Those are the CCNRs, so unless through this new plat, they choose to adopt the same CCNRs, they could potentially write their own CCNRs, removing themselves from the original.
But again, that's not our decision to make.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nor is it our decision.
Just to clarify, yeah, I knew that, I just wanted to get it out there so everybody understood that,
So
so.
you can't put it down as a condition.
No.
Like that they comply with the CCNRs.
Approve.
I don't think we can.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think the only thing that we're restricted to is that this is designated as multifamily. It's designated as the density that it is. It sounds like he's following the guidelines that were originally put in place where we got 16 units. And I'm not sure if those guidelines, if it's our job to interpret whether that means 16 individual lots, 4 lots, 1 lot. I just, if I'm correct there.
Right, you are strictly reviewing this against the ordinance
Okay.
to see if it complies with the criteria of approval.
Yeah, the criteria for a 0 lot line, 16 lot.
Correct.
Division.
So.
Is this very
I
similar
think-
to the discussions we had at the one at the skate park right here?
Similar, yes. I guess my holdup is that the original plat did specify multifamily, which my definition of multifamily, which is probably very similar to the residents out there, is one building with multiple units in it, that is a single ownership on the whole building. This is, in my opinion, this is not multifamily.
See, in my opinion though, multi-ownership is irrelevant. If it's a single building, whether it's got 4 owners or 1, it's still a single building with multiple units within the building.
Agreed, but these are individual lots. These will be sold as individual lots. If it's 4 people owning one building, like in a partnership, that's one thing. This is 4 individual owners on individual units, and that, to me, my personal definition of multifamily is not that. So I have a hard time saying that it complies with the previous plat condition. Note number 5 is what the, Mr. Stenberg said on the previous plat, or the existing plat. This, in my opinion, does not comply with that because it's not multifamily. Does that make sense?
And a plat designation or note is different than a CCNR, right?
Correct.
That's right. Correct. But
So that
again,
might be like the covenant
I guess we would just have to see, I don't know, what the definition of what that is. I mean, only because we've seen this before and we've called it multifamily before. These other ones we've done have all been called multifamily, but they're individual lots per unit. And there's 4 units in the building.
The ones down here are not individual, they're
But
4
still-
units in one building with 0 lot line between 2 buildings, but they're not sold as individual units. They're rented as individual units, but it's one owner for those 4. I think I know the ones you're talking, just.
Oh, there I go right now.
Yeah, but just the ones down here.
Yeah, we have some here, some across the road next to PRT.
Yeah, and there was a letter sent in by another resident out there, or a property owner out there, that talks about the CCNRs. So there's confliction, because the plat says that this lot is multifamily, but the CCNRs, which we don't control, specify that every lot can only have a single-family home on it. So there's some contradiction.
Already a conflict, yeah.
But we can't control what the CCNR say. But we can enforce what the current plat says, is my opinion. Staff, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my opinion.
Can we request a review from legal to differentiate that for us?
I agree with you, Stuart. Multifamily is different than what is proposed here. It would be a single, whether it's a duplex, a triplex on one lot, whatever it may be. That would be a multifamily structure on one lot. Or, yeah, I agree with you.
And John agrees with Stuart.
John does? Okay.
Yep.
That's good. I just want to make sure.
So the recommendation back to the applicant would be that it will be 4 individual units on one lot. They would be 4 apartment buildings.
Okay. So their design doesn't necessarily change the way, if I understand
Well, it
you right,
changes.
the
It's
layout
lots.
doesn't change, it just changes from 16 individual lots or 17 to 5. And every 4 is on a single lot. That may affect setbacks though, a little bit. Different variances than what is proposed right now. I don't know, but anyways, okay. So
how do we move forward from this if legal is giving us that?
It's up to the owner.
Okay.
can we,
So right now, the option for the owner is to not subdivide and turn around next week and submit construction drawings and go. And we have 4 unit apartment buildings.
on a single lot?
Mm-hmm.
Or redo this, put it in 5 lots, and come back and go for a subdivision with the variance.
Well, we're talking concepts, so you can go back to the applicant and make that recommendation as part of your conditions.
Let's ask the applicant, because this either could turn into a very long night, or this is something that he can, I mean, he can postpone this to another day and come up with a plan with his group to know what we can do.
Well, that was gonna be my question for staff. Can we, because we've gone through public testimony the way it is now, can we table it? How so?
We have to make a decision.
Okay.
Yep.
And
So
then
we
he
either,
has the ability to.
we either have the applicant come back with a different concept and deny it the way it is, or put a condition on it.
Okay.
We could approve it with a condition that they change their
4
layouts.
lots, 5 lots.
Doesn't have to be lost. I mean,
Yeah.
if they choose that they want to just move forward with it as it is, they can move forward as it is.
Right.
Because multifamily is defined quote unquote as an apartment building. We can go through our ordinance and approve 4-plex on one piece of property and go. doesn't stop them from construction, it stops them from selling 16 individual units.
That's right. That's right.
They now have 16 units to rent. And they could come back to us during construction and put them into 4 individual lots with a remainder while it's under construction, and get an approved subdivision so that if they wanted to retain one as the property owner and the owner of one apartment building, and then they could find 3 investors that wanted to buy the 3 other units.
So just for clarity, so that he understands, if we just go through this process, make a denial, then he would have to come back to you guys and then resubmit the change that he wants to make to this to make it.
If it's gonna be a subdivision, yes.
If he's gonna have a subdivision. If he wants us to go through it and approve it as a single lot with 16 units, as it's drawn, other than it's just one lot, then we can just go through this and
You
make
don't
that
even have
condition.
to approve it at that point. That is what could happen today. If he applied for a building permit for multifamily, 16 units, attached housing, he could submit that building application and move forward. It is only the fact that he wants to split them into individual lots to sell them that we're here today.
Right, so it's
And,
up to you to ask.
and the state of Idaho allows what's referred to as a 4-unit apartment building with what's referred to as townhouse construction, meaning the firewalls in
between,
without sprinkling.
Yep.
Okay. If you'll come up and do this with us. So I guess come up and, based on our discussion so far, what are your thoughts for you to move forward?
I'm trying to decide, it really doesn't make a difference. I mean, we can do it. We can set up four buildings and do, all the stuff and have not gone through the pain. I don't know that I really don't know that it makes a difference to the quality of what we're trying to do, all the stuff. And that's probably my biggest thing, is we're now, take the dog out of the fight, then it doesn't really matter. But I think that what we're doing probably provides a better long-term view. I really do. And let's call it, what it is. I've got a brother in Price, Utah. Great guy. He may want one. Justin's got, a result that he may want one. I think we're arguing probably things that if we really get down to the brass tacks don't matter. But we can be good stewards, and we can take a look at it and go from there. And it's like you said, nothing changes. We're going to sell 4 of them to individual guys and rent them or whatever. That's all fine. We just want when we get done, we want it to be nice.
Yeah, and I think our discussion isn't necessarily about the construction of what you're building. It's
definition of
it's just the definition of it.
What it's
Like,
been slated.
your plan that you showed us, I think that can be built one way or the other.
Yep.
It's just how they're divided or not divided.
Maybe we'll just put it up. That's a good
And
idea.
so, anyways,
We like to spend less.
okay, so I guess I need a little bit of your thoughts on, at this point, how you feel we should proceed with, because the way it is now, if we go through as individual lots,
Yeah.
chances are it's gonna be.
Maybe I can find out this instant. Hello. I can get it. We can do it while you're here. We got some good members of the community with us and do whatever you want. Right. Justin just said we'll make a decision tonight and we'll go with, we'll call it 4 points.
So council, we looked at ordinance.
Okay.
It can be proposed as an approval with conditions to move forward with less number of lots, or however you'd like to word that.
Okay.
And then they could move forward with preliminary plat if they choose.
Okay, so we could put a condition that says approved with five lots, one being common area.
If you would like to restrict it to that, yes.
If we wanted to do, okay.
I would probably state something like to adhere to the existing plat or multifamily requirements, so that if it's 5 lots, 4 lots, they're not restricted to a number in the condition, they're just restricted to complying with existing plat.
Gotcha, I see, okay. Just the verbiage. Gotta make sure the verbiage is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can, why are we rolling back? Because we can move forward with this, call a fourplex immediately to start construction without any more debate. It's the definition legally between the lot lines. You know, going to a 0 lot line, it's a definition thing. Starts multifamily.
Multi-residential definition.
Yes. Just as said, he'll go to a 5 lot deal and start dating. What, not literally, but.
Can't do that, but yeah, okay.
It's definitely not cool.
See you later.
Okay.
So I do think that is an important distinction, because I remember the first thing I ever heard about this subdivision was that it was supposed to be affordable housing. Because it's extremely hard to find that in Lava. And if we want to continue to have.
We're talking about all Bannock County now.
But I mean specifically,
Yeah,
this
no, I
Lava level.
understand,
And if
yeah.
we want to continue to have a pizza place, then the people that work at the pizza place need a place.
That's
to live,
originally,
you
what was
know.
Mark Lowe was the owner of the property, he sold the property to Mark Lowe. And that's regardless, but just some history, some back history on it. And it turned into the Splash Hall, turned into this big different thing. There was supposed to be no Airbnbs, there was supposed to be all this stuff in the very beginning. But it has evolved to this, and it's all, they went through the proper channels, but it was originally, the very beginning was supposed to be for housing for the local workers. That whole subdivision, anyways.
Okay.
And council, just for a point of clarification, Idaho code has changed since this subdivision has come in, and we can no longer restrict short-term rentals. So if the developer chooses to have them short-term rentals, they can do that.
All right, so the condition then, all we're gonna do, we're gonna move forward with the plat as it is, but with a condition that it's now 5 lots versus.
Well, or one condition will just say that it conforms, needs to be reconfigured to conform with
Comply to the
the
existing
existing
plat.
plat
Okay.
condition or restriction.
Awesome. Original plat, right?
The original plat restriction, yeah.
Good.
And some of the, and then I guess we'll have to go through the recommended conditions and see if we need to adjust
Change any of those.
or remove any because of that.
Because it's not.
Because of that change, yeah. Okay.
Council staff is working on doing that right now. We recommend removing number 6, and that can be addressed at preliminary plat.
Okay.
And then
What about number 4?
number 4, it could state within lot 17 for the residential dwelling lots to have legal access. Of course, that lot 17 number will change. Within the community lot, instead of saying lot 17.
And say community lot instead of lot 5 per se. Right.
Okay.
And then also number 7, instead of saying the lot numbers, just change 1 through 16 to dwelling.
On which number?
7.
Requirements of the underlying district shall not apply to your dwellings.
Yes, 6. And then number 14, to state if common lot is intended to be developed as proposed instead of lot 17. And then verbiage for the moving forward to add a condition, the preliminary plat shall comply with the original plat as a multifamily housing development. You can pass that over to them.
We want these, or we want the person that's gonna read them to have it?
Either way.
I make Marge read those, sound like a good idea?
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? We good to go? Okay, let's work through our findings then. Number 1, the proposed tentative plan is in conformance with the Bannock County Comprehensive Plan, is in conformance with the applicable provisions of this ordinance, other county ordinances, and Idaho code.
Goal 1.2, a balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families.
Okay.
That would be a comprehensive plan.
Strategy 2.2.4, allowing no mixed lot size, mixed to support people with diverse incomes.
2.2.4 you said? Okay.
Diverse incomes.
Then goal 3.3, rural atmosphere with a variety of housing and commercial development opportunities.
We need to talk about an ordinance or a county ordinance or a Idaho code, we need to include that. Something in there for that.
Meets the allowable density. It will be connected to city utilities.
What ordinance, so.
No, there's not about their density in ordinance
Section
346.
346.
Some of the
Section 246.
I think it's probably good.
You wanna read that back to Marge? We didn't get any of it.
Okay, what's number 1?
Is in conformance and is in conformance. And then, goal 1.2. Do you need me to read it to you?
Yes.
What does 1.2 say? A balance of urban and rural amenities to attract families. Actually, you know what? Sorry. I'm just gonna say it meets goal 1.2, strategy 2.2.4, goal 3.3, and section 346 as identified in the staff report. Goal 1.2, strategy 2.2.4,
2.2.4.
goal 3.3, and then, is that subdivision?
Ordinance section.
Section 346 of the county ordinance as identified in the staff report.
Okay.
Then we don't have to type it all out.
So,
Okay. Number 2, the proposed roads and bridges are designed and constructed according to section 402 of the subdivision ordinance. Design deviation was not requested and was not granted.
No new roads will be proposed.
No, yes, no new roads are proposed.
Do we need to note the condition about the approach here? Needing to meet.
We can mention,
that there's a condition, ingress egress condition. Just make a note of that.
which number was it? Number,
Yeah, number 5.
There.
Wasn't going to get rid of number 6. so
There,
that
I guess
would be
condition number 5.
But I should say.
condition number 5, yeah. There we go. And then, you got that, Marge?
Yeah.
Okay, number 3, the proposed partition of land does not prohibit the extension of dedicated streets or roads. Dedicated streets and roads already exist.
Okay.
Number 4, the proposed partitioning will or will not conflict with legally established easements or access within or adjacent to the proposed land partition.
The lot lines and roads already exist. Correct?
Yeah. So will not conflict.
Will not conflict, so,
Number 5, the blocks of lots are located and laid out to properly relate to adjoining or nearby lot or parcel lines, utility streets, or other existing or planned facilities.
you just copy the last one? We're not changing any of that, right?
Right.
I would probably just add utility and utilities in between lot lines. So the same thing, but just put in utilities that already exist. All right.
That's one of
It's
the.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fine.
Number 6, the proposed property is physically suited for the type and proposed density of the development and does conform to existing zone standards.
Back to ordinance section S346 about density.
And it does comply with the existing plat.
That's what you wanted, right? Okay.
ordinance, basic ordinance section 346,
Yeah.
and it does comply with the existing plat.
Existing plat restriction. Yeah. Restriction.
You might say for multifamily housing,
Okay, yeah, I'll mention that.
just to take it back to that original plan unit development.
Okay.
Okay. And then,
Our conditions.
conditions. Do we wanna go through conditions now or with the motion?
Getting rid of.
We have notes on them. We can go through them with the motion unless somebody wants to go through them first.
Either way.
It is preliminary, so yeah, we kind of discussed about it.
Okay, I'm good either way, so if we wanna do it through with the motion, let's do it with that.
Okay, and then we'll have Marge read these conditions when we get to that. Because you probably can read their handwriting.
Okay. I think we're ready for a motion then.
I'll do the motion, but I need help on the condition.
We'll just have Marge read it.
Can we read it right now?
Not yet.
Okay, you ready for a motion?
I think we're ready, yep.
Okay. Having reviewed the application, staff report, and all testimony presented tonight as part of the record and based on the criteria for subdivision concept plan, and having found that those criteria for approval are satisfied, I move to approve the concept plan for Still Lava subdivision as described in the application and staff report with the following conditions.
Condition 1, within the preliminary plat application, provide written confirmation from the city of Lava Hot Springs that the proposed connection to individual lots is acceptable and all conditions required. Condition 2, show the location of central mailboxes and school bus stop on the preliminary plat and final plat. Condition 3, revise the plat to show all existing and proposed easements, including utility, drainage, irrigation, slope, snow removal, and temporary turnaround easements, and confirm that no recorded easement or access right is impaired. Condition 4, create an access easement that is no less than 60 feet wide located within the community lot, the residential dwelling lots to have legal access. Condition 5, approach distances shall meet the setback requirements from the intersection or a road and bridge variance approved prior to preliminary plat. Setback distances shall be demonstrated on preliminary plats.
It's struck, right?
Yeah. No 6. Okay, condition 7.
That's 6 now.
Oh, condition 6. The setback requirements of the underlying district shall not apply to dwellings. Since this is a continuation of the planned unit development and conditional use permit, building code setbacks apply. Condition 7. All subsequent plats shall state all lots within this plat have given consent to annex into the city of Lava Hot Springs at such time when the city deems appropriate. Annexation consent recorded as instrument number 21805-680 in the official records of Bannock County, Idaho. Condition 8. All subsequent plats shall state that this development is a continuation of a planned unit development. Condition 9. A public utility easement shall be created for intermountain gas adequate to service the lots. Condition, what is this one? Okay. Condition 10. The preliminary plat shall comply with the original plat as a multifamily housing development. Condition 11. The preliminary plat shall depict block layout as they relate to parcel lines, utilities, and streets. Condition 12. Within the preliminary plat application, provide written confirmation from the Lava Rural Fire District that the proposed fire hydrants are acceptable and all conditions required. Condition 13.
Lots shall be labeled in sequential numerical order. Condition 14, if common lot is intended to be developed as proposed, the designation open space must be removed from the plat.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we've got a motion.
Second it.
Second. Roll call, please.
Edward
Yes.
Orridge,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Demick,
Yes.
Chad Sellon.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Thank you very much.
You seconded that?
Thank you all for the thoughtful discussion.
Thank you. Last public hearing item. Agenda item number 9 is a variance from section 337, building bulk and placement standards. Alan and Susan Peck request a variance to allow the required driveway access easement to be established through lot 9 rather than lot 8, and a variance from the subdivision open space requirement. The affected property is labeled RPRR CB1000 901 is currently unaddressed. And that's it. Okay. Sorry. You got my timer?
Susan Peck, 9504 Nottingham Lane. The reason I'm here is we had sold some property to the Skinner many years ago behind lot 9, 75 acres. They are landlocked. He no longer, she passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. He no longer lives here, wants to sell the land. He needs an easement. And that's why I'm here, because he couldn't apply, because it needs to go through lot 9, which we own. So that's why I'm here, is to try to figure out what we can do to give him an easement so he can sell his property. Feasibly, it cannot go through my lot where my home is, because there's not enough room at all. So, years ago, we had a bunch more land behind there that wrapped all the way around Pocatello Creek. And there was a concept plan, which thank goodness never went forward with, because I don't want a bunch of houses back there. But the road is proposed, that he is proposing is similar to what was done 20 years ago.
Is the parcel that you own the one that's outlined in blue right now?
Lot 8 and lot 9, which is open space. I just dug that out of my stuff that I have. I don't know if you can see where the cul-de-sac is and stuff, and where the road was gonna tie back, and like I said, back to all the other land around Pocatello Creek, but we never being partners, we never went through that. The partners didn't work out, so, but
So the lot that they're trying to get access to is obviously that little one on the north.
it is at the back there.
Yeah, at the very back.
Yeah.
It's off of the.
You can't even see it.
It's off the
It's
street.
it's not even this piece back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not the one with the homeowner.
No, that,
No,
they
that's
own,
ours.
they own this and this is lot 8, that's lot 9.
Yeah.
They also own this piece. And then what
Yes. We have the 4.45 acres or whatever that we have back there.
They're trying to get access up here, which has a survey on it that's.
It's over the other way. Back, that way, there you go. So that's all his, that's in that spot back there, yep,
Plus the 2 lots. Plus it goes with half.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then back there, yeah. So that's what Kevin owns.
So, okay, so right now to access it, they would go right by your.
Right next to our house.
We don't like dust.
No, well, the
Just
thing
kidding.
is when we sold it to him years ago, it was, him and Jennifer were just gonna build a house back
Yeah.
there. And they're friends of ours, it's like no big deal, we didn't have to worry about all this.
Yeah.
But now he, you know, like I said, she's no longer with us and he
You don't want to do it.
He lives a long ways away now, so he wants to sell it. So how do we get him an easement so that he can sell his property and go on with his life? But, you know, us and all the neighbors don't want tons of houses back there, but we need to give him access so he's not landlocked. Because that's what the law says. So how do we do this?
But not picking on him, but he's really not landlocked. He's just driving by your house. Is that correct?
Yes, but there's enough room
But he's
for
really
a
not
car.
landlocked, just to clarify. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, if I understand correctly, there's currently not an easement through her
There
property
is no easement.
to access his property.
I was just gonna ask if we have a.
No, there is
So this is just the legality to
There
make sure that this
is no easement.
That's the way I understood the application and like you
Yes.
said, is currently the only easements that exist are these on this plot
Yep,
and which don't access
Yeah,
this
they'll
property.
go through lot 8. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So how do you give him an easement? That's why I am here, is to figure out how to give him an easement so he can sell his land.
right of way access easement. Okay. Stuart, I'm gonna lean on you because this is outside my realm.
Same.
I mean,
They're-
So, it's just we're labeling an easement that legally gets recorded on the deed, is that what we're doing?
Are you
Or are
wanting
we-
my staff report
Well-
now, or?
Yeah, I guess we gotta have our
Yeah.
steps. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we have any other questions specifically for the applicant?
No,
Okay, thank you.
We might have you come back up.
That's fine.
Okay, now we're ready for the staff
Yeah.
report. Thank you.
This is new to us.
Tristan Borkman, Assistant Planning Director. So you've had the staff report for a week. I don't know if you noticed or reviewed. Typically on a variance, we have a recommendation from Planning and Development that is either denial or approval. This one does not have an approval option. It is a denial. That is because the definition of a variance does not allow a variance from open space, which is what they are requesting. So the definition of a variance is for lots, size of lots, lot coverage, setbacks, all to do with the zoning ordinance. Open space is required by the subdivision ordinance. Lot 9 was a platted open space lot to create that development at the density that it is currently at. At the time that council did the plat for this development, they determined that there would be lots that would be landlocked without an easement through open space. So typically, you would not even be allowed an easement or a road or any type of development in that open space lot at all. The only development that is currently permitted in Lot 9 is where the driveway is existing now. So this does not qualify for a variance and would have to go through a replat process to change Lot 9 in order, and if it could meet current standards to do that, that would be the path to move forward. The parcels to the north that need access
have also gone through a minor land division process. On that minor land division, there is actually a note stating that their access will be granted by Castle View Investments, the owners of lot 8 and 9, going through lots 8 and 9. So really, an easement is a completely civil issue and cannot be granted through a variance process.
My question's never that one. I don't understand.
So we don't have
Authority.
a copy, we don't have a copy of that minor land division in our packet.
No, I can pull it up though if you wanna.
I'm just curious to look at the verbiage of that note specifically. Just so that I fully understand.
So note number 4 states access to this property will be via Nottingham Lane, and Kevin Skinner is working with Castleview Investments LLC to acquire an easement through lot 8 and 9 of Castleview Estates Division number 1, instrument number 206-16775, in conjunction with the purchase of the surveyed property shown on this record of survey. No access easement has been recorded at this time.
So I would agree that in order to do this, a reconfiguration of the platted easements, a replat would be required. However, with that being said, I don't know that it would comply with today's rules either.
That is correct.
Is the concern. But I also see based on, because of the open space requirements. Yeah. But I do also see that there's also already kind of a non-conforming use into open space with their driveway.
That was permitted as part of the plat. The easement that's going through.
No, this part up here that
Yeah.
goes out, that is not shown on their, on a plat. And
Correct.
so there's already a non-conforming encumbrance or encroachment into open space. So that's where I'm a little hung up, I guess, personally. So, yeah, well, I'll get that. I just wanted to make, I wanted to work through that with staff first because that's kind of the way I see it. There's two things going on here a little bit, but, okay. Let's work through, public testimony and then, have more discussion about this. Does that work? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Kevin, we'll start with Kevin Skinner.
Kevin Skinner, 370 West Collins Road, Rockford, Idaho, 83221. So the document that you have there talks about, and I know that the open space requirements is not something that's, I think, is really an issue because of the way the original plan was set up. Each of the 7 additional lots in the Castleview Estates has an open space of 3/4 of an acre that's slated to the back of that. And the proposed road impact is only about 0.66 acres, which with the addition or the 7 lots that are there, plus the 18 acres that are, is still part of Block 9, we still exceed the required amount of open space for that subdivision. So the open space that's already there would be just fine, even with the impact of the growth that's going through. And then going through Lot 8 goes against some of the standards that the county has for putting roads in there, as well as negative impact Susan and Allen on that. And so the proposed position of the process is not as unintrusive and still maintains the open space requirement, as far as we can tell. So, any questions that we have for me?
Just makes more questions for staff. I don't think so. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Susan, you already spoke, so you're technically the applicant, so you didn't necessarily sign this, but that's okay. We'll go to the next one, Conrad Wagner.
Can I, yeah, the people ahead of me, they're part of the subdivision, and I'm actually just a lot owner to the right that has the easement. First lot owner that has that easement through the open space to get to my property.
Sure.
I'm not part of the, was never part of the whole set of things. I mean, I bought a lot, but it was never, that easement was granted.
But you want them to go first?
Yeah. I don't care.
Okay. That's fine. I don't really care what order. We'll get through everybody eventually.
I mean, they're
Tracy Castleman.
Good evening, my name is Tracy Castleman. I reside at 91259 Nottingham Lane, which is lot number 4 of Castleman Estates. We purchased that property in 2009 from the PACS. It was with the understanding that it was about 20 acres of open space. That was a significant decision point for us to decide to buy a home there. We use that area extensively. I probably use that area more than anyone up there. Our kids have used it. We walk dogs and travel. We've done that for years. In the last few years, the roads have grown, they've gotten bigger, more impact to the open space. Property's been cleared, encumbrances have come off of the property, and it's far less than it was. This road, which is proposed, is going to cut up about another 3/4 of an acre, give or take. We're looking at 1,600 feet times 20 feet if the road only stays 20 feet, and I don't see it as necessary. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some hardship putting the road in, but it's open space. My perception is, yeah, you've got a draw right here that's got a lot of steepness in it, okay? But you've got an existing road, okay? Part of which comes into the open space and goes, all right? The building here, the castle, was built after that property was sold and the path was there, put there, okay? You continue to go up through there, and it can be a whole lot of fun, and it can be fun for the packs there. Or, you come off here where it's closest, and you save a few hundred feet, come off here. There are options. I don't think we need to put in a secondary road. All the dust, the impact, that place is, for open space, for the purpose of open space, it's already highly fragmented. We're talking about fragmenting and chewing up another, depending on how you do the calculation, 0.68, 0.34, or 0.74 acres. I would just ask that you deny the request for the variance and work with Mr. Skinner and pack some figure something else out. It doesn't impact the open space. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Steve Klosser, did I say that right?
It works.
How close was that?
Well, it's pronounced Clouser. Some people say Clouser. So,
I was close.
you were right there. Steve Clouser, 9053 Nottingham Lane, on lot 2.
I am one of the owners of the original that ever bought up there. And again, to just kind of reiterate a little bit on what Tracy said, the whole plan that was presented to us when we were looking to buy this land was that that was open space. And Susan and Alan Peck were horse people, still are.
Yeah.
This was really meant to be horse property and places for us to be able to ride our horses and do things like that. To utilize open space as open space was meant for. And I really wasn't going to talk too much on this, but a comment was made about still having adequate open space. Can you blow that up just a little bit more? Okay, right there. You pointed this out a little bit, where the open space, all of the natural habitat has been completely stripped off, and that is now used as a parking lot. That is a clear violation of open space. You cannot do that. If you look over to the right, about where the arrow is there, all stripped of natural habitat. Once again, these are violations of open space. You can see where the road buried back out into open space and went back in. I don't know when that came apart because we were never made aware that they were going to impact open space to bring the road out and back and around. But it did. So when we sit here and we talk about, you know, there's still adequate open space, I'm going to argue that. You can see the width of the road, the one road there, going off to the right. Originally, if I remember correctly from looking at the plot plans, that was only a 20-foot easement. That's 40 feet wide now and stripped of natural habitat. We continue to come, this is our second time being in here going over in the open space. You know, I'm not trying to make it so Mr. Skinner can't sell his property or provide something in there. So I'm going to also reiterate, one, there's already existing road going back there. Yes, it does go by Susan and Alan Peck's place. A shipping container has been moved back there. There are building forms that have been moved back there. I believe, and I could be wrong, correct me if I am wrong, please, even a well drilling truck went through there to go back there and drill a well. So it's not it is purely a matter of inconvenience. It's not a matter of financial, because, okay, there we go.
Thank you.
Boy, too many years in sales, I could talk a lot.
Can I say something else?
Almost,
Okay.
almost,
Okay.
almost. Okay, Conrad, you're up.
Okay, Conrad Wagner, 9220 Nottingham Lane. I own the lot there where the road takes off to the right. It goes to that physical house there, which was never part of the subdivision. It was a lot that had easements right of ways before. As far as the road going up to my lot, if you look at the plot plan, that is a 60-foot wide easement. If you, it states on there that it's 60 foot wide. And that boat area in my lot and my road there is 60 foot wide. You can see where the sagebrush has been mowed on both sides of the road. The road is approximately 20 feet wide, and from sagebrush to sagebrush, that I mowed that back 60 feet. More for fire protection and that, because there's, you know, we're out through the middle of sagebrush. That's the reason. If I made a mistake on that, I did that. And that's my fault, not realizing that there's only not open space. And the first part is, yeah, I'm sure you guys got this map there. My easement does come from the county road up to that corner and then turns right to the easement. And then there is another easement that goes up to Alan Peck's property. But that's where the easement stopped. There's basically those lots up there. There's 4 lots up there. They are landlocked, basically, and this, you know, he county gives him an easement right away, but he still has to pay for that right away. And the purchase price or whatever, you know, property. As far as the lots, they're both owned by Alan Peck, number 8 and 9. They're owned by the same people. Even the open space is still owned by him, so. I've asked him for permission to do what I did, but I, you know, like I say, that was fault if I did anything wrong. Now, as far as the road going up through there, I'm not sure, but he's proposing to go right off of here to this point here, and that's the property line right there. Well, with the 60-foot road easement and that road there, then two roads would actually be touching each other. If not, they would be 10 feet apart. And the extra ground that consumes up of open space, I don't see that feasible. And then from that point there to, say, this area in here, you know, if you did continue to go up this road, and then the way they have this drawn in here is very deceiving. Because this point here is probably at least 30 feet higher in elevation than this part right here where they're down over the bank. And you get up here in this draw, and the average slope on it, it's a deep slope. It goes from 1 to 1 slope to 1 to 2, and most of it is 1 to 2 degree slope. There's some 1 to 3, but where they had this road going, it's basically pretty much 1 to 2 degrees slope.
That's your time. I think
Can you give me 5 more minutes? No, I just have, just please, I asked for it. I mean, I'm the last guy, there's only 2 here, and I don't recognize anybody's here. Okay, there's 4 lots up there.
Just real quick.
Okay, there's 4 lots up there. As far as people going up there and fire protection, there's gonna be at least national average lots per people. There's gonna be 10 trips a day per lot. That's 60 people per day, basically going up that road. I pay the maintenance on the road going up to that part. Somebody's gotta figure out who's gonna pay me back for, I spent $8,000 just improving that road for gravel. Plus the fire protection, it's gotta be a road that is to specs, county specs, and also.
I'm gonna have to cut you off right there. I'm gonna have to cut you off right there, okay?
Okay, I think
Sorry.
it's denied anyways. I can be done.
All right, thank you. Okay, now it's back to you for rebuttal.
Okay.
So come back up here, I will need your name and address, and then you have 6 minutes.
Okay, Susan Peck, 9504 Nottingham Lane. So as far as Conrad already said, the wider part of the road there that goes to his place, that's what he did. It had nothing to do with me. So, and yes, I do have my trailer. I have some of my trailers parked there. But that other part over below the shop is my septic field. So that's what that is. So
What part, Susan? I'm sorry.
below the shop there, that's all my septic field right there.
So that's actually in
That's my septic
lot
field.
8, though.
That's in lot 9. They approved it for me, for us to
So
put
if you,
septic
if you'll
house
just,
on that.
yeah, if you'll just direct
Yeah,
stuff
sorry.
down.
But yeah, that's our septic field. That's what that is. So, and then as far as the container going past and the house and going back there, that was long before we finished doing our patio on our house now. We have barely enough room for one vehicle to go alongside our house. So, I mean, that was prior to that, when Kevin had all that stuff back there with the well driller and everything else. There's no way anybody could go past there like that now. Not there, not a chance. They go straight down, go off the mountain, to the side there. So, but that's all I wanted to say.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
yep.
All right. Questions, more questions?
No, well, just a.
Discussion?
Discussion. I appreciate everybody for coming and being part of it. That being said, I'm back to the council here. Staff has pretty much already told us this is not the avenue. This does not meet the definitions. Regardless of intent or whatever, this isn't our job to grant an easement. It needs to go through the proper channels. And so it's kind of, to me, a shut door. That's, you know, at least as far as this avenue is, to come to us as a council. That's where I'm at. So.
I do tend to agree with you, yes.
This is a legal issue that I don't think we need to get into. If there comes an agreement legally between the neighbors to figure out an easement, and they have to replat something, then it comes back to us. But right now, this is not.
Not for a variance, not for a hardship variance or whatnot. This isn't a replat, this is for a variance.
Right.
It doesn't, it's not in our scope right now.
So it would need to come to us as a subdivision.
Or a replat, yeah.
That's right. And if, you know, again, this isn't our place right now, but if the open space requirement is still met by shrinking the open space for a replat, then obviously that's something we discuss at that point in time.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So we still have to go through finance.
Okay.
Okay. Ready to go through findings then? Or is there more discussion? No, can't do it. Okay. How do we go through findings in this case?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Let's just stay focused on the variance that they're asking. We can't grant that, so.
The applicant has not demonstrated that there's no reasonable alternative.
No, because we're not here to hear that.
We're here to hear about a variance that we can't really legally give.
We can just put that in there. We can just say, yeah, okay, has shown there is not a reasonable alternative, but based on, this is not our.
Yeah, so page 192 of the packet,
Look at the last sentence of
it
that.
says the applicant's request is based on a preference to relocate the access rather than the absence of legal or physical access. Any modification must occur through the applicable plat amendment or replat process. A variance is not the appropriate mechanism to alter subdivision design standards or dedicated open space
So can we
restrictions.
just repeat that on all of these?
Maybe not all, but
Number one anyways, right?
number one. I
It
think,
isn't home.
I think the,
192, page 2 of the staff
I
report.
think the last 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences of that. Any modification to the approved subdivision layout or access configuration must occur through that applicable plat amendment or replat process, and then the sentence right after that. I think we just use those two.
Where did that Stuart again?
It's the last couple sentences of the, of A on the staff report.
Any modification? That's has not, correct? That's is, wait, we're on number 1, right?
Yeah, number one.
The applicant has shown
There is.
the applicant has not shown there is a reasonable alternative.
Is not.
Yeah, it is not.
Second one should be easy, right?
Yeah, stuff finds it a grant request would conflict.
Yep, Sarah.
The variance is in conflict with the public interest.
An approval would be in conflict with our,
Approved subdivision plat
yeah, with you.
and requirements of the ordinance.
And our scope, correct? And the council's scope.
I think part of that is right in the middle of that paragraph in the staff report. It says authorizing a new private access easement for residential driving purposes through an open space lot would undermine the purpose of the subdivision's open space requirement and establish a precedent for using variances to circumvent substantive, I think that's how I say the word, subdivision regulations. Did I say it right?
Authorized.
I'm struggling.
Just wait to the end, all the way to where?
Just that sentence.
That sentence.
Authorizing to furthermore. Stop before
At the end of
furthermore.
regulation.
Yep. And then number 3, the variance will adversely affect adjacent property.
Just say.
And then the last sentence in the staff report, altering the approved configuration to accommodate a private driveway through protected open space may affect the character and intended function of the subdivision and could impact neighboring property owners who relied upon the approved plat.
That's in which one? D?
C.
C. The end
Very
of
last
C.
sentence in C.
Last sentence.
And we have testimony from the neighbors to support that as well.
Again, that's not saying we agree or disagree with the need of the easement. It's just, it's not our,
Correct.
it's not our role right now. Okay, so we're on number 4 now, right? You got that on 3.
Yeah.
Okay. 4.
Number 4, if the variance is not granted, the applicant will or will not suffer undue hardship caused by the physical characteristics of the site.
Will not.
Will not.
They have demonstrated.
Well, you could say will, because it doesn't matter. It's still gonna-
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, they will suffer the hardships, but again, this is not our scope to determine.
So will
I don't care who it is.
I think the biggest thing there is that there's,
Just even the last sentence on D, such circumstances do not satisfy the standard for granting a variance.
There you can do it. But I would say will, and then I put that sentence in there because.
well, the last 2
When the
sentences.
commissioners, yeah, the last two sentences actually, yeah. Because when the commissioners review this, then at least they know, we do acknowledge that there's a need for it, but it's not our place to do anything.
So will.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are okay with that. Yeah. You want me to give the motion?
Sure.
Okay. So having reviewed the application, staff report, and all testimony presented tonight as part of the record and based on the criteria for a variance, and having found that those criteria of approval are not satisfied, move to deny Alan and Susan Peck's variance request as described in the application and staff report. I find that the petition fails to comply with, well,
What would be your-
Definition of a variance.
with the definition of a variance, okay?
Okay, so we got a motion for denial.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Edward Orich,
Yes.
Crystal Mattson,
Yes.
Stuart Ward,
Yes.
Molly Dimmick,
Yes.
Chad Selenite.
Yes.
Okay, motion to deny carries 5-0 vote. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us for 3 hours.
He's been to some.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second the motion.
So,
Joseph will be. Yeah, we need one for the record.
You guys got one?
Did I hear a motion to close the public hearing?
Yeah.
Second.
I second
I second it.
Okay,
Sorry. I think all three.
all in favor?
Aye.
I was in a different.
All right. Okay. If you guys could take the conversation outside for us, so we can finish our meeting. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
We're gonna do a budget request and open the budget for a buzzer.
Okay, items of interest.
Tristan Borkman, Assistant Planning Director. We don't have any update on recommendations to commissioners for upcoming public hearing items. We don't actually have any yet. We have one more week. There's a potential for a future land use map amendment and a rezone, as well as a variance. And then we will have at least one item just from staff to amend figure 7 in the comprehensive plan to add the multiple use zone back into the comprehensive plan before we adopt the ordinance. And then just by way of announcements, I sent out an email to request dates for special meetings for the ordinance public hearing. I've only received email from Stuart. So if everybody else can look at dates and times.
I don't think
Send it to all of
I've
us?
seen that.
Yes.
I have seen it. I have seen it and delivered.
The email that I received only had me and Chad or me and Ed on it.
And I'm like, I swear.
I was there, but I did not respond, but I'm good for whatever day. I'm easy, okay?
I think you missed half the council.
I don't have it,
I'm fine.
sorry.
I will send you another email or a first
I was
email.
gonna say something, but I thought maybe she just
Maybe
decided
she
to
has-
split it up.
Maybe she has the full people on one email and then she doesn't like on the other.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Last email out from March.
Exactly.
That's all that I have.
Okay.
Real quickly, one item as a point of interest. We had a number of items relative to the ordinance that came to light. We had a potential conflict, so we went back to the commission this week seeking their counsel. We have published the draft ordinance, and so we've added another 15 days for review to the draft ordinance from the general public. And at that point, then we'll start getting serious about all of our final edits, getting that meeting set, et cetera.
Is that the same draft that we saw?
That draft ordinance was released, and there were a couple of people outside of the reviewing body that responded, which then alerted us and alarmed us. So we went to the commission and said, hey, based upon some of the feedback that we received, some of the questions that we received, how do you want to handle this? So they chose to publish it. It went live yesterday. So that said, we will be moving forward. It looks like our timeline is going to push us probably closer to November 1st by the time we get all our hearings and public comment and et cetera. So just so that you're aware.
So the one that got posted does not incorporate the comments we.
Correct.
It wasn't me.
Was it?
No worries. We're fine with the fact that it's out there somewhere.
Okay.
But for transparency, fairness, and honesty, we felt that we needed to take it to the commission and say, hey, this is what has occurred. Based upon the comments that we received, this is what I think we should do. That's what's happening, just so that you're aware.
Was it recorded by the folks over here, possibly?
No.
Okay. Sweet.
And that takes us to the end. I don't believe there's any citizen comment.
There's no citizens and no work session tonight. And
for 7 public hearing items, we got done in 3 hours and 10 minutes. That's way better than I thought.
Well, there was one person that really kind of, you know.
Okay, that means turn over. Okay, hold on.
Turn us off, Mark.
You got a blank screen. It's a good thing.